Hello, everybody. This is Ian Waugh, and this is my presentation on the future scanning of agriculture. I chose agriculture because it's something that is very dear to me, and it's something that I care about. So, makes it an interesting topic that I can actually devote myself towards. Food, water, and shelter are the three necessities for human survival. Because of this, the roots of agriculture industry run very deep, and it possibly makes it one of the oldest industries known to man. The various different methods for acquiring food for human consumption have evolved throughout thousands of years into the farm to store system that we know today. So we must ask ourselves, what will this industry evolve into in the future? This project will observe the past and present of the agricultural industry while creating an estimation for where it is headed in the future. So as a bit of a recap, I've compiled some notable events in history for the agricultural industry. And so before the industry actually started, we have hunter gatherers. So the agricultural industry as we know it today is farm to table, or it is livestock to table, that sort of thing. But before all of that, we had people going out and hunting for whatever they needed on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, just to supply for them and the people around them. So there were no such thing as farms. There were no such thing as people taking care of their fields. It was simply find, hunt, and eat. And according to Oregon State University, this made up for about 95% of human history. It started over 13,000 years ago. Um, and food was obviously acquired by hunting it, and crops and livestock had not been domesticated yet. And this is where we'll see livestock domestication. So, first farms and plants and animals are domesticated. The first popularly farmed plants were wheat, barley, peas, rice, squash, and corn. Corn came shortly after, though, as it had to first undergo a genetic mutation from its predecessor, and I may be pronouncing this incorrectly. It's teosinte, and this is according to National Geographic. This led to the creations of cereals over 9,000 years ago, which I believe were basically wheat type plants in water instead of what we have like cereals and milk. As far as animals go, cattle, goats, sheep and pigs were domesticated as livestock in the Fertile Crescent, which is in the Middle East area, between 13,000 and 10,000 years ago. For our last slide of history, we have agricultural innovations, and these were sourced from Iowa Culture. To start, we have animal-powered machines replace human effort, and this would take the form of drawn machines such as reapers, plows, and mowers. And to dive deeper into plows, another notable innovation was the steel plow by John Deere. Later on, we have combustion powered machines such as gasoline or in the inventions of gasoline. And this replaces some animal effort and human effort. Traction motors became known as tractors. This happened in the 1890s. Selective breeding of plants and animals and genetic modification also came about. Those two are somewhat related, as genetic modification is just a more in-depth version. Selective breeding involves picking which plants display genetics that you want to have and choosing those to breed with other plants that have traits that you would like them to have. And therefore you can create a plant that is more like what you want it to be like. Genetic modification just takes that a step further by actually entering the plant's DNA and altering it, or or mixing it with another, or taking traits and implanting them inside the genetic code to create a better, stronger, or different plant. Fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides came to be around post World War II. This will help us grow by creating better environments and safer environments for our crops. Modern agriculture takes the form of doing something better than the day before to increase the benefits of farming. This may be by reducing crops or livestock damage, by the use of pesticides, herbicides, and medicine, preventing death, and also the use of fertilizers and genetically modified organisms help us to grow more and grow better plants, higher quantity, higher yield, and higher quality as well. Modern agriculture is simply a contest both with and against nature to produce more for the now massively increased population. However, even with our modern technology, we have yet to overcome the obstacle that is unpredictability. We will always deal with things like weather, natural disasters, things like that, which is why I said that our agriculture is a contest both with and against Mother Nature. Because while, yes, without Mother Nature, you can't grow anything at all, you also have to deal with things like that ruining your crops or products of Mother Nature, such as natural predators to your plants and things like that. Now, for the future of agriculture, the future can be estimated based on what we do today. So, all of our efforts that we put in today and all of the things we are researching and designing will show up in the future as they get better, improve, or become more adopted. The discoveries and solutions we invest our time, effort, and resources in today will shape how we operate tomorrow. Most projects such as AI, artificial intelligence, drones, robotics, and applied sciences will continue to revolutionize many industries, and agriculture is no exception to that. However, the future will also have to deal with today's problems, such as climate change, pollution, and global warming. This is why we also must take precautions to not only get better at some things and improve by inventing stuff, but get better and improve by not doing certain things, such as ruining the environment or contributing to global warming. And we must work on preserving agricultural space. So, to start, we're going to start with AI for the future of agriculture. The things AI is capable of are astounding and they already have had great effects on other industries. So, it's only time for the agricultural industry to adopt further into this and for our own benefit. So the highest yield and growth formulas can come from AI. They can generate mathematical and scientific formulas to help get that quantity and quality that we're looking for. So it can create specific calculations that are unique to specific and unique plants and animals to produce the highest yield and quality. Locating and protecting carbon sinks is also another feature. Carbon sinks are areas of forest that recycle carbon dioxide back into oxygen. So obviously they're very important for us. It's very important for the environment. And it's very important that we protect these places so they can locate and help preserve that. AI can also be very helpful in monitoring energy usage. Using energy on a farm is a very large expense and therefore can bog down making profits and bog down the turnover of your efforts. So monitoring energy usage and creating a better way to use energy more efficiently or in a better manner is something that AI can very much help with. Adjusting for climate change is another thing, creating a more optimal plan to tackle climate change and still produce quality and quantity. This is what I mentioned earlier about being today's issue and tomorrow's issue and something that we need to adjust for. Now for drones, drones are versatile and have many applications. They can definitely help in administering pesticides and herbicides to large quantities of plants. You can fly them over fields and drop chemicals or whatever products you would like to use. They can be used to distribute medicine, probably in the form of packages. I imagine it would be pretty difficult to actually give the medicine to an animal with a drone, but surely you can fly packages long distances with medicine inside. They can be used for land survey. They have like cameras and they can do analysis and digital mapping. And this way they can create a digital twin to help you map out the land. And that leads to our next thing, increasing benefits of land utilization. So by analyzing the property, calculations can be made about how to arrange crops and save resources. And on to robotics. So just as animals substituted human effort and animal effort, and gasoline substituted uh, sorry. So now on to robotics. So just as animals substituted human effort and gasoline and combustion engines substituted both thereafter, sequentially, robotics can do the same again. Robotics could help in certain areas, such as application of pesticides and herbicides, again, much like drones do. And they can also help administer medicine. So, what I mentioned that drones probably couldn't do right now, robots could. They can also help with harvesting. Now for applied sciences. So we've already dug heavily into the science division of agriculture. And what I mean by this is GMOs. We use GMOs and chemical research to improve our crops and our yields efficiently today. However, advances in technology can always lead to improvement. The cutting edge of fertilizers we use today will likely be obsolete in the next decade or perhaps sooner. So we can always be better. We can always do something to improve. And in conclusion, these futuristic technologies are very much a modern and realistic product. However, even though we have drones, robots, and AI today, we have yet to embrace them fully into the agricultural industry. And that is what will bring the future into fruition. As we improve and adopt these technologies, we will push the ceiling farther upward to reach new heights. Thank you. This is my bibliography, and these are the sources for the images I used.